Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Loremaker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm your host, Archivist Cherie Heiberg. I'm a member of the lore team. For those of you who have not seen other episodes of Loremaker's Guide to the Galaxy, this is a semi-regularly occurring program in which we cover the lore and the science and the history behind the star systems that we have created for Star Citizen, the game that presumably you're interested in. So, now, thank you. I think it's a very solid intro. All right, so let's get started here. I am going to go over the Kayfa system. It is a Xi'An system that you can get through, through some jump points. I don't know that there's a direct route. Actually, you know what? Let's see if there's a direct route from Sol to Kayfa. Let's say Sol. And let's do Kayfa. All right, calculate. Wait, I have to do my ship size. Let's just say small so we can hit all the jump points. Oh, cool, it's just like two jumps to Kayfa in a small ship. See, in a medium. That's 2 jumps to Kayfa in a medium and in a large. So no matter what ship you're flying, it's only 2 jumps to Kayfa from Sol, which is probably what helps its reputation as a tourist destination among UEE folk. Let's see if we can, whoops, I just made the screen small, but that is all right. Let's see, okay. Here we are back in the regular view of the system. And I was talking about how it's a tourist destination before I messed up the screen, but we're back in business. So among the UEE, Kayfa is a tourist destination, but among the Xi'An, it is maybe the single most important star system that they have because it is the seat of Litova, which is their main religion, spiritual belief system. They've had it for several millennia now. It's not a profit-centered religion like a lot of the ones we have here. It's more a system of spiritual beliefs that the species as a whole follows. There are other religions, of course, but this is the one that is ascribed the most importance and is adopted as a state religion by the emperor's family, the Kree. It focuses on, well, what I find very interesting about it, and what I hope you find very interesting about it, is that Litova is centered around the concept of nothingness and the void, which can be physically represented by the ideas of space and time, or space-time, rolled together as a whole. Xi'An, who follow Litova, are very concerned with the effects of their actions on the universe. There's a popular saying, the greater the thought, the greater the action, which has been debated by practitioners of Litova for millennia on hand. Consensus is, at this time, and they love to debate, I need to put this out there, debating is one of their most favorite things to do. Consensus is that any thought, no matter how small, has the potential to affect the universe, which is part of the reason why the Xi'An are so slow to make decisions. They want to be sure that they have made the best decision that they possibly can. And that can require some time in contemplation, which us short-lived humans, we can't really see why they would do that. Well, obviously we understand that it's important to take your time to make good decisions, but they take a lot of time. And part of that is because they're followers of Litova. Now, let's dive into the star here. This is a K-type main sequence star. It's a little cooler than our sun, and it's quite long-lived. This sun right here is only about 8 billion years old, but it has at least twice that left in its star DNA. The Kepler program and people who are very interested in the possibility of extraterrestrial life keep a close eye on K-type stars because it's thought that it's very likely that life would form around them as they don't give off as much harmful ultraviolet radiation as our sun, and they stay around for much, much longer. That sun right there would probably have been one of the first things that the human explorers who discovered a hidden jump point of the system found. The system had been protected for a very, very long time by the Xi'An. It was a closely guarded secret. They didn't want anybody to go in. But two human explorers, like I said, accidentally found a way in. And because it had been so tightly guarded, the human government, the UEE, thought that this action might accidentally lead to war. But Emperor Cray, in a surprise move, let the explorers go, reasoning that, well, if they were killed, humans would find the jump point event again eventually. He thought about it, just like Litova says, he thought about it and chose the best outcome. And eventually, after the Cold War ended, opened the system to human tourists, in the hopes that the cultural understanding engendered by humans visiting the cultural and religious seat of the Xi'An Empire would, in time, come to understand them. And there would be interspecies understanding, and everything would be wonderful. Yay. This year is Kayfa 1. In proper Xi'An, the name of the system would be Kaypwa. But if you say Kayfa, Xi'An would probably understand what you're getting at. Kayfa 1 is a carbon planet, meaning that when it formed, the particulates in the protoplanetary disk were very carbon heavy. So the surface is black and brown and dark red and presents a kind of a gothic looking image from space. I think it would be very nice if we could get a really good artist rendition of what Kaypwa 1 looks like from the surface. One day we hope to do that. It's not inhabited because it's so close to the sun, of course, but because it's a carbon planet, it's postulated that there may be diamonds under the surface. As of now, that hasn't been confirmed. I mean, as you can see, it's just right up on the sun right there. It's technically in the green band, so I mean, hey, maybe it could be terraformed one day, but we haven't really successfully terraformed a carbon planet yet. But anything's possible because, as Dave Haddock likes to say, space be crazy. This is Kaypwa 2, which is the seat of Litova, the most important planet in the Xi'An universe, and a very pretty planet. It's essentially one big temple. It was not terraformed. I mean, it wasn't inhabitable when the Xi'An found it, possibly because the length of the day is exactly the same length of a Xi'An year, which is 128 human years. And because of Litova's emphasis on time and time-space, oops, I need to leave that up there. Because of Litova's emphasis on time and time-space, this planet attained incredible spiritual significance. And now that it's terraformed and it's full of temples and farms and gardens, the most holy thing or most spiritual thing that a practitioner of Litova can do is spend an entire day meditating. So that's 128 human years, 100 Xi'An years. Because Xi'An have such long lives and such slow metabolism, this is technically possible, but it's extremely difficult, and it's something that only the most dedicated practitioners of Litova even attempt. Another thing that really dedicated practitioners of Litova do is they attempt to cultivate the centennial bloom, which is like Kaypwa 2, a plant that only blooms once every 100 Xi'An years. It is not native to this planet. It's actually native to Koli, which is in the Aeolis system, and is a nature reserve planet that the Xi'An have put together to preserve all the animal and plant life in their empire. Excuse me. And the centennial bloom, once they discovered it there on Koli, they absolutely made sure to bring it here to Kaypwa, where it thrives. So a good practitioner of Litova will probably have a centennial plant in their house or in their spaceship that they take great care. They take great care of, and the day that it blooms is it's a significant event. If you've been a subscriber to us for a long time, you might have a Centennial Bloom subscriber player in your hangar. I know I do. But if you're not a subscriber, I mean, it'd be cool if you were. We do love our subscribers and all of our players. In game, once we get the game, up and running and open to everybody, this would be the place where you would go to purchase your own Centennial Bloom. If you're Xi'An, you get one as a complimentary gift, but if you're anyone else, you do have to buy it. All proceeds go towards the maintenance of the temple planet, Kayfa 2. Let's move on to the next planet, now that we've discussed awesome temple planet. And let's say this here is Kayfa 3. It is a gas dwarf. We haven't really talked very much about gas dwarfs, I think, in Loremaker's Guide to the Galaxy, mainly because our solar system doesn't have any gas dwarfs in it. But according to the Kepler program, it is probably the most abundant type of planet in the universe, which I find fascinating. What they are is they're gas planets. So they're not gas giants, but they are gas planets. So something akin to Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, in that they do have a core, but they're enveloped with a thick, dense gas atmosphere that's made of hydrogen and helium. They're bigger than Earth. They're like super Earth akin to, they're akin to super Earths in radius. And they basically, they behave like little mini gas giants. Hence the name gas dwarfs. What's so interesting to me about them is, like I said, they are one of the most abundant planets in the universe, which kind of calls into question our perception that our solar system is typical. Most likely, according to the evidence that we've uncovered so far, our solar system is incredibly atypical. Most stars are binary, for example, or maybe three, 4 stars. Most stars exist in systems, and most star systems have gas dwarfs in them, as Kepler has revealed to us. So, barring any more Kepler discoveries, which I'm sure we'll have a lot of, as of right now, the most abundant planet in the universe, the most abundant planet type in the universe, does not exist in our own backyard. Speaking of backyards, if we could just find Kayfa 4 over here. This is also a gas dwarf, and it exists pretty far out in orbit as compared to its planetary siblings. This isn't entirely unusual. There are a lot of planetary systems with far flung out planetary bodies, like Pluto is for us. It's like way out there. So it's possible that this gas dwarf formed in the early days of the system just naturally away from everything else, but it's just as possible that the orbit was increased by the passing of another celestial body, like a rogue planet, just flung it out. So the passing of a rogue planet is a much more exciting explanation. So who knows what actually occurred? Probably astrophysicists. Returning to the center of the system, I'm going to zoom out a bit so we can see it in its full glory. Kayfa. It is the seat of Litova, the most spiritually significant planetary system in the entire Xi'An Empire. Litova, the religion, probably contributes an incredible amount to the Xi'an's understanding of space-time as a concept, because their main spiritual belief encourages the asking of questions, it encourages scientific exploration, and it encourages especially a lot of effort spent on the understanding of time, contemplation, and the questioning of one's actions. So if you're interested in Xi'An culture, once we get this system built and in the game, this would be the perfect place to stop. You can buy your Centennial Bloom, give a high five to a monk, and ask someone about time as a concept. Here we go. So thanks very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Loremaker's Guide to the Galaxy. I know I always enjoy a chance to talk about the alien religions and culture that we've come up with. This system, I do want to say just the construction of this system and how we were building up the idea of the planet being the entire length of a Xi'An year helped us understand that Litova was centered around time and nothingness. So you never know where the creative process is going to lead you. Anyway, thank you again. We'd like to thank all of you for watching this program and continuing to enjoy our game, and I hope to see you again next time.
Thanks for watching. For the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42, you can subscribe to our channel, or you can check out some of the other shows, and you can also head to our website at www.robertsspaceindustries.com. Thank you very much for watching.